Hello. Welcome back to another most beautiful chapter of The Stars Above. I know that the last chapter, yesterday morning, was a bit difficult for me to get through. Thank you for being patient with that. For those of you who stuck around to watch the sunrise with me, wow, what a beautiful sight that was. And then got to check out the war crow perched atop Monument Rock. Observant crow, always so curious about the ongoings. Anyway, I'm really appreciative for everyone who tuned in. This one is much more beautiful and magical, not so tragic. Let's get back up. Let's get back up here. We don't want to be down here. Let's get back up here. It did take me quite a while, though, to brush that off, I should say. Shout out brushing things off. I suppose that could be like a dual sponsor for today. It's better to brush things off than to dwell. Dwelling is not unhealthy, or dwelling is not healthy. Yeah. No, dwelling is not healthy. Not unhealthy, because dwelling is unhealthy. Dwelling is not healthy. But also, when you're feeling something, sit in that. Appreciate it. Because appreciating those moments is what makes, getting out of them all the sweeter. I'd argue we wouldn't even have a grip on what bliss and happiness and joy are if we didn't have such low moments. That's why we must brush them off, after sitting in them, appreciating them. So today's sponsor, brush it off / purge your sorrow. Today's sponsor, brush it off / purge your sorrow. I think that's very important. A lot of people like to bury the emotions that they don't enjoy, but that's a part of being a human. Emotions we don't enjoy is a part of being a human being, and we should learn to appreciate them. That's why we must purge our sorrow. Yesterday, after that morning's chapter, it's actually funny because we got a magnificent sunrise, through those clouds. It broke the clouds, and then like 30 minutes later, it was just cloudy as shit the entire day. So I went for a rather long walk. I did a little walkabout. My step counter said it was like 15 miles. So I suppose that's not a little walk. I did a big walk. But yeah, that is my way of purging sorrow. I process when I walk. Some people scream into pillows. I've never done that. I like to walk and think. When I walk, I think best. There are many ways to purge your sorrow. Each and every person has their own, but do it in a way that allows you to, really understand what you're going through. What you do not want to do is bury them like Icarus did, in his youth. He got so accustomed to, taking prescription medications, benzos. Shout out opposite sponsor, benzos. Fuck you. Benzos destroy a lot of people's lives, I suppose, in ways that some people need them, for anxiety and such. I don't want to take away from that, but do not abuse them. Icarus abused benzos. And by abusing benzos, that's how he entered the realm of apathy. We don't need to get back into that because we don't need to talk about Star Wars again. That was its whole tangent, but by bearing emotions, that's how you eventually find yourself within the realms of apathy, and that is a big no-no. So appreciate what you're feeling. Find a way to purge your sorrows. Maybe like listening to death metal when you're feeling sad. Maybe that's how you get out of it, or you rage face somewhere. That's cool too. Like I've had plenty of fucking raging dance-offs with myself to purge sorrow. It's pretty high up there on the list. I'm sure that we can have another video where we make a healthy list of how to purge your sorrow. I think that would be really fun. I'm open to suggestions. We can dish. Us girls, we can dish about how to purge sorrow. Us girls and gals and guys and fellas and all the others, we can just dish about purging sorrow. I think that would be a really swell time. And we stay healthy about it, And then we can find a way to appreciate the very next day. Yesterday was spent purging sorrow, and today, look at this remarkable day. It's so wonderful. Shout out third sponsor. Third sponsor is the Northern Nevada sky. Jesus Christ, the Northern Nevada sky is remarkable. I've been all across the US. Never have I seen such wonder as I have in the Northern Nevada sky. It often looks like a painting, like a cartoon, like the fucking Simpsons, the clouds in the sky. Like, Jesus, this paper is white and it is reflecting the sun straight into my eyeballs. I do not have sunglasses with me. Did not think I would need them. Anyway, yeah, shout out third sponsor, Northern Nevada skies. Thank you for blessing us with such a pretty backdrop. I'm going to read this with my eyes closed because I am literally being blinded by the sun. It is reflecting off these white pages like a fucking mirror. Like a mirror. I don't know how a white piece of paper can be so reminiscent of a mirror. I can't see my reflection in it. That's for certain. But I'm also being blinded. Maybe if I move my hat down a little. No, I don't know. Chapter 28, remember me this way. The coming days were spent speaking to Celine and Rob of the complexities Thea was facing internally. While very difficult to navigate, it was a situation that needed to be met with empathy, patience, love, and support. Celine had been tremendously hurt, but not to the point of no return. Time seemed to move slowly as I'd wait outside each day and night, but the curtains remained drawn, and Thea kept to the darkness behind them. A week passed without word, so I slid a picture of Celine nestled within Thea's arms beneath Rob's door, along with it, a note. I will never let your love fade from her, nor hers from you. You are never without your daughter, nor is Celine without her mother. In this time and evermore, I hold you in my heart. My promises to both of you will be kept, always. The next day I'd receive a note beneath my door, and while we wouldn't speak or see each other, our silent exchange of letters in the early mornings and late nights would continue. Icarus Mikhail, I have no words to express how truly sorry I am, and fear I may never find them. It was not me who said those things, and I'm indebted for the mistakes made, ones I'll work the remainder of my life to correct. I don't think I'll be able to face Celine before leaving Reno, and I must carry that shame. As terrible I feel, I do consider her quite fortunate, simply because she does have our love, no matter where, when, or how, and that is rare in life. Though this you know, just as it seems most things, you've always known. We see and understand this well, and it's far more meaningful to me than most love I've been shown. Love given when convenient, conditional, or part-time. And though I'm sure I'll be a distant figure in her world for a while, I am strongly behind her, always there. I know what my love for her means to me. If I hadn't met you, my son, I don't think I'd believe in the merit of loving just for goodness sake anymore. But seeing you go through this, knowing how it feels to offer the strongest, deepest, and purest love, while having it rejected, modified, enhanced, tested, and shelved, I see now. I see you. You have such a beautiful soul, filled with the very best kind of love, one that can be called universal, deity, divine. You remind me of what is true and matters most in my heart. Without your support, I'd have faded from hope and stopped believing that love was worth saving, cherishing, nurturing, and fostering. I was shocked to discover that Rob wasn't my soulmate. I don't bond easily to people. On that level, it's rather rare. When he sang my songs, I saw it as a sign of our ultimate rightness. It was years before I learned it'd been more thoughtless on his part, a tactic to become close, and not a unique spark that occurred from our contact. Those songs were enough to invest my whole heart and life into being at his side. What a slap in the face it was when the universe revealed him as a friend on the journey, another soul to cross my path of lessons. I was beyond devastated at first, not wanting to live in this cold, empty, lonely, selfish world, where everything I'd create or try to accomplish was betrayed by naivete, delusion, and blindness. I outright overlooked and ignored the signs along the way, believing I was simply being tested. The awareness came in painful realizations, mixed with horrifyingly projected hallucinations which sought interpretation from a troubled mind. I wasn't thinking clearly, nor wished to, let alone breathe, although now I've accepted my heart cannot change truths, only honor, heal, and understand them. And the love I felt so passionately to defend and hold in place became shapeless. Instead of filling my heart, it filled my being. I've realized it's okay. The universe is smarter and bigger than me, even while I cling to it by tooth and nail. I must submit my love and will to the power of the universe and overall rightness in every situation, even the worst ones. The universe doesn't lie, but is one to trust. Learning to do so comes with merit, as now when I think about Rob, I know there's a rightness for his path that doesn't continue along the same road as mine. You and I will always be on the same road, even if we take separate paths. I may fall into a hole, you may stumble over a log. I can see your footprints alongside mine. It looks like someone's been dancing. You may skip on the right side as I flank the left, and seldom do either walk straight through the middle, for there is Bird. Celine is on the same road, but on a path filled with thorns and thickets. She must learn to fly, discovering the place where our paths and roads align. But if you look carefully through the woven branches, there she's perched. She simply feels lost, for she can only see the path of her own, having forgotten about that road being traveled. But ours is wide with paths abundant. This dream will never die. Mother dearest, reading this brings such a smile to my face, for no matter how hard it's been, the tribulations, hurdles, and pain faced, we've recognized what's always been right in front of us, that of utmost importance. I can only imagine how hard it must have been to fight for what you felt was truth and understanding with Rob, just as it was so hard for me to cope with why my mother was taken, and all it brought me to find once landing here in Reno. Nothing, no part of it made any sense, until I found the two of you, when I knew within an instant what everything in my life had led to. While there isn't a day gone by that I don't feel my mother, or the pain she came to face, nor is there a night I don't look up and smile, whispering her name to the stars above. Not a whole lot of things in my life made sense until you and Celine, but now I know in my heart that whichever paths you may travel, they're ones I follow closely behind, watching those birds who took me by chance, watching my birds, the ones who will dance. I'm doing my very best to help Celine understand what happened to you. It hasn't been easy. At times, hope seems bleak, but she's coming to a place of empathy and forgiveness. It'll take time for those wounds to heal for her, those very same left unhealed after the passing of her mother. She's in pain, much more than she's faced since that loss. She speaks to me about death, about life not being worth living. At times it scares me to hear, but I understand how easy it is to have those feelings. I know when you leave that things will only get worse and become much harder for her than they already are. But I want you to know that I won't forget my place beside her, that there is nothing I won't do to keep your daughter safe and loved, always. Icarus Mikhail. Hope is one of those things we must carry with us no matter what. I think that in some ways we're charged with it, having been tried so many times by the universe to abandon hope and give up, to let it be extinguished by the darkness of things around us, the pain, and the reality of impermanence towards everything aside from love itself. We all go through it, at least those of us cursed with awareness. Suicidal thoughts are a huge part of growth. They teach us of our limits and fragility, that we need to take control of how others both influence and affect us. It's a work in progress that lasts long as life itself. Through her trials, she will become stronger. She's becoming Celine Hawk. I've faced such difficulties in life. Had I known in the past that there'd be some worthy reason to endure them, I'd have been a bit more diligent in preserving myself, while cultivating kindness in the spirit. Instead, it was all faith-based optimism. Having found you both, I know that there was no need for faith. It was simply a tool to guide me through the fog. In the now, I know. Oh, great universal goodness, wrap your healing embrace around my birds, so they may fly without daggers to clip their wings. Fly without arrows to stray their course. Fly above the pain of this earth, of men, and hold the line that divides love from oblivion. Let no harm befall them. Set them free in glory and give them the strength to wield love, the greatest gift to mankind. Protect them, keep them safe from evils, and breathe through them the spirit of truth and hope. Mother dearest, we can be struck down 100 times, wishing to just say no, to walk away, but it just isn't who we fucking are, and not who we were brought here to become. We stand for those able to turn a blind eye, those able and willing to walk away. We make that choice to pick up those pieces left behind. I wish things like this were easier on us, but if it was, it had never been something we signed up for. We can't lose hope for anyone in this world. If so, that will become the very day all hope is lost for ourselves. Bird's fighting to understand herself, her environment, and her conditioning more than ever before. She will spread her wings, she will take flight, and she will bring great change to all those who seek it within. Icarus Mikhail. It's about baby steps, really. The little things in life teach us that it's okay to be different, to hold different ideas and values, and be okay with failing to conform to what we believed others demand of us. There are many people who can never be wrong, never be sorry, never make mistakes, and it's something those more sensitive must learn, and such lessons don't come easy for us. Sensitive folk take on more than most. We get closer to the core, ruffling the feathers and upsetting the delusions that most wish to believe in. Not because they're stubborn or reluctant to face the truth, but because it isn't presented in a palatable way. This is what we three can do for each other. It's what we're meant to do. Understand. To find ways to make the truth comfortable, not some disease, mental illness, or felt as alien skin. After some time, much practice, trial, and great error, we can learn to develop the skills needed to navigate all frustrative mental traps. We won't always find success, but can do so with the right intentions, perspectives, and healthy balance. There's no answer to the darkness we must come to face, only inner light. And if we're so lucky, someone at our side to hold up a candle, someone like you. Thank you for always being the light on my horizon. When I think about those I've lost in the last few years, it really strikes me how suddenly and unexpectedly everything can change. While we all long for the comfort of someone, anyone who can care, feel, or understand, no matter the distance making the path appear lost, it's in those stars above which let me know that no matter where I am, I'm always home. Rarely, perhaps once every few lifetimes, we get to meet someone who truly makes us feel less alone, who makes us know that we don't need God, but that we've always had God, a shining light to signify we're on the correct path. Not the easiest by any means, but one which brings a healing love from the very core of universal existence. For me, you are that someone. My Icarus Mikhail, you always remind me to try, to be better, stronger, and to believe in the power of love. A constant reminder to be greater than good, and that I am never alone. Life is worth every pain while unknowing of what blessings lay ahead. Blessings like you. I wouldn't change a thing about you, but I wish to change our whole world for you. What a thing it is to have been tossing and turning this mortal coil for an eternity, waiting for the time, and lo and behold, 'tis at hand. Mother dearest, I can't even begin to express what your words mean to me. It'll be a long time in the making to tell this story, our story, but each time I sit to find those words of mine, I speak and write them for three: Celine's mother, my mother, and our mother in you. I don't know what I would have done without finding you girls, nor would I have made it this far without your guidance. Sometimes it feels as if we're each other's guardian, and that in so many ways our souls fight for one another without fault. And as we work to strengthen ourselves, we do so while strengthening each other, and those lives will one day come to truly share. In this difficult time, the bond between you both will need mending, for this occurrence will have sparked a quantum leap in her evolution. Hold your ground, dearest, for the growth Celine is currently experiencing is very hard on her and terribly confusing. No matter the form or distance found, we must provide her all the love we can as she continues to heal. I know that she will walk away from me, and when that moment arrives, she will need you to be there for her. Support her decisions, encourage her strength, and devote your love. She's always got this. She'll pull through, and the only thing which matters to me is that she knows she is loved. I know how much is on your shoulders, and how hard it is to always be in the seat of nurturing others, but there's discipline and patience, and much work to be done. You've topped off my well so it may never run dry. You and Celine's embers keep the great fire burning within, eternally. As days come to pass, the path shall grow narrow and each thorn more pressing, but the footprints left by each step will be shared. All will transpire as it should, as it is written. Shan't fall, shan't falter, for what is felt is ever true. Remember that even in the darkest moments of feeling forgotten, we have one another. There's nothing left to be afraid of, for what has scared us most has driven us to this point now. Do good for yourself in these dire straits, and you will do good by those who rest upon your caring shoulder. We wouldn't be who we are without those who've needed us. Never shortchange yourself, for in the simple act of opening your eyes each day, you cause the ripples felt across the cosmos itself. While this past year certainly hasn't been easy on you, nothing is without its purpose. Where you find yourself breaking, embrace the light which shines through each crack. I will not slip, for I will not let myself, you, or Celine down, ever again. No matter where or when we are in the world, I'll challenge the sadness and pull myself from the muck of each day, knowing what lies above. We are infinitely stronger than what's proving resistance towards these cosmic ties. It's here, upon this life of which you've severed angelic wings to test the will of man. So, it is here I forfeit my right to the kingdom of heaven, if only to stand at your side. Fight for your daughter, your son, yourself. You were born to fight. I love you more than anything. I love Celine more than anything. So, more than anything, I must fight. In the battles you face lie the everlasting grace of one's rightful place. We've been here before, but shall we no more? So begins the longest, darkest night, of which we take arms for our final fight. Should you fall to one knee, look to the stars, believe in us three. Icarus Mikhail. If her wish is to walk away from you, we must do our best to humor the process, no matter how difficult, embodying the most selfless, unconditional love within us. We must be able to face and withstand Celine's hardest challenges if we're to believe that she'll endure that universal initiation, as we are the keepers. Do not fall, for you now know. This is the path for her to learn what real love is, a hard path for us all. My departure will be difficult, but it must be this way, just as she must wield the sword to learn how to control and master it. You have prepared for this, and it is now. When I've said that she would hurt you deeply, I needed to know that you could take it, that you were who I believed you to be, to the both of us, the one. What I left out was what would come after you've seen the worst of it, once accepting that knife to your heart. Deep thought and awakening within herself as she grows strong and learns to fly. This is what it takes. This is love. You've provided me with a glimpse into another world of beauty and wisdom, where magic has hold and the trials of man's life are illustrated in labors of love. Your disdain for the mundane, in hand with peaceful acceptance and cunning softness, leaves me grinning, knowing the good always wins within you. The ethereal nature of your vision warms my heart and brings me to tears, for how very proud I am of you. Like the lake, we surrender our efforts and float on our dreams. You lay stone pathways which subside and rise, knowing you both tread and reinforce the foundations of which we walk. You're reminiscent of the line between this world of nature's making and the paradise of celestial oneness. Your veil between physical and non thins away like a silken web, where all is seen, past, present, and future. From thoughts which loom on the surface of water, you bring life into the winds of chaos, a gift from God. You are one of the oldest archetypes in creation, essential to life itself. While enchanted by the illumination of our full moon, you humor enchanting each child of the sun. You're simply one of the rarest gems in the whole universe. I know I can count on you, Icarus, because if you don't have it, no one does, and all will cease to exist. Because I am still here, alive and writing this, I know that you are the divine star of genuine love that makes life worth living. Champion heart, your love will change the world. I'll be leaving soon, but know this, I believe in you without hesitation. You are treasured not only by me, but the stars above. Mother dearest, a gem only found and polished by whom held the capacity to reveal its true form. One who could give it a light as bright as their own, and a fire lit by their spark. Your care, love, and guidance are what has led me to this point on the path, and in time is what shall lead me back to you both. No matter the effort, I will never have words strong enough to convey my gratitude for you, but I will work each and every day to show it. I am where I am who I am, because of you, my mother. I love you, dearest, and although soon you will leave, it shan't be forgotten. No matter what pain may come, I will help show your daughter the way back home to you. I never came to tell Celine of these exchanges shared. The forgiveness she sought for Thea had to come from within, without my influence. I simply gave Celine support, further instilling the belief they shared for one another, while lending reassurance to a love which knew no bounds. A couple nights before Thea left for Colorado, I found Celine doodling in my notebook after dinner. "What's that you're working on, Bird?" I asked. "Just things and stuff," she replied. "A poem and some sketches." "Well then, let's hear it." And for the moment, darkness is still. The mirror remains smoky. Existence has been frayed. Loose ends have been unkept, as they should be. So, you're paralyzed in between what is past and what has yet to be known, is where my skeleton will lay, buried amongst the decaying thoughts that ate me alive every night and every day. That's beautiful, Bird. You're a remarkable artist. Don't you forget it. I bet if you made something for Thea and slid it under Rob's door, she'd really love that. I don't know. You think so? I don't just think so. I freaking know so. She got to sketching and I got to work on her dessert, a happy face sculpted with a dark chocolate smile, tangerine eyes, and an almond-crusted pie nose. While marvelous, it couldn't hold a candle to her drawing. It was of Celine and Thea holding hands at the foot of a mountain, looking like they'd been raised by wolves. "Dearest Thea," it said, "please remember me, this way." It melted my heart, and the smile across her face as she held it up spoke of bliss. "Run along, then," I said. "There's mail to deliver." "I'm nervous, Irk," she said. "What if she sees me?" "Then she should be so lucky. Come on, the coast is clear. You've got this." With an apprehension dense enough for its own gravitational pull, Celine crept under the cover of shadow until I wailed like a banshee, causing her to sprint back through the door. "What the hell, Irk?" she said. "Did you see something move over there?" "No, sorry," I said. "Had a wicked sneeze coming on. False alarm. Try again." She scurried on all fours before barrel rolling in front of the door to slide it under. "That was very dramatic," I said, "but I am so unbelievably fucking proud of you." "Oh my gosh, that was scary," she laughed. "Do you really think she'll like it?" "She'll absolutely love it, Bird, because she loves you, absolutely." I woke the next morning to find Thea's piano back in my office, along with a dragon painting and other knickknacks for Celine. For me, there was a book she'd written of our story, which was kept to myself. It was Thea's last day, and this was her way of saying so long, for now. Christmas was upon us, so I hid the painting in my closet so Celine would have a gift to open from her mother. I jumped on the bed, bouncing up and down. "Wake up, Bird!" I yelled. "Can you stop?" she scoffed. "You disgruntled little leprechaun." "Okay, fine by me. Stay in bed. But Santa came early and I'm gonna play." What are you even saying? Play what? Mum's the word, but it rhymes with Cotton Eye Joe. Celine sprung from bed, shoulder checking me into the door like a linebacker before running for the office. She kneeled before it, gently gracing each key from one end to another. Look, Icarus, she spoke gently, turning back to smile with watery eyes. I see it, I said. I see you, bird. In our time together, there were 2 moments I saw Celine filled with happiness beyond herself. One was playing the piano at Thea's side. The other was finding it waiting before her. Do you think we'll get to see Thea again before she leaves, Urk? She asked. I'm not sure, I replied, but I believe this is her way of saying she'll be coming back for you, Celine, and that she always was. The day began beautifully, but that question was asked many times, and as the hours grew, so did the sadness in Celine's voice. We were at the store before dinner when she found an elephant stuffed animal. Look, Urk, she said. Thea would love this. Should I get it for her? Absolutely, I replied, but you may have to look after it for a while. Maybe she'll see us before leaving in the morning. I spoke with Rob earlier. He said she's packing up and staying the night with her friend Marie. I don't know if she's ready to see us quite yet. She needs time. I think I know where Marie lives. Can we drive around and look just in case? There's always time to try, I smiled. We drove in circles around Midtown as Celine took anxious notice of each house with the elephant resting in her lap. I believed if the piano represented Thea's coming back for her, then making sure Thea had the elephant would signify Celine's will to wait. But I could see it in her eyes, hear it in her voice, and feel it in the air as that sense of hope fizzled out with dread. We went home, made dinner, ate, cleaned up, and not once had the elephant left her arms. I don't know why I even bought this, Celine said, sighing. You know why, I replied, just as you know we tried our best. So then why didn't Thea try her best? She scoffed, tightening her grip on the elephant. Thea hurts you, Celine. So much it scares her. She needs time to heal and find herself again. Same as us. We must be patient and give her our love and support, even if from afar. It's not fair, she cried, tears now pouring. If she really cared, then she would have been there. She doesn't care about me, and I don't want this stupid fucking elephant. Don't say that, bird. Thea loves you. Well, maybe I don't love her, she yelled, tugging to rip off its head. I won't love anyone ever again. She's not my mother. I don't care. Stop, bird, please, I said, pulling her close. Get off of me. I don't want this anymore. I don't want any of it, ever. Celine Hawk, I yelled, taking her by the hands. Please, just listen. I let go and opened my closet to reveal the dragon painting Thea left for her. Your mother loves you, Celine, I said gently, so much more than you know. She held it close, tears running down each cheek as I placed my hand over her back. Don't touch me, she cried. Just leave me alone. Remember what you once held true, I whispered over her shoulder before leaving. Remember, bird, 'twas always you. I kept to the balcony for some time in reflection as tears welled from the emotional depth that painting brought. Celine loved dragons, and Thea had left a note on the back which read, For Celine, with all my love, may you always shine, my little dragon. But most significantly, that painting had been the only remaining possession of Thea's brother, who she'd longed for more than anyone. Where Thea had cursed Celine's name for being the spirit that killed him, through this selfless gesture of which symbolized unconditional love for her daughter, Thea broke the chains of damnation tethering her to that loss, having finally received salvation. After a while, I went back inside and peeked my head through the door. Celine was atop my bed, the elephant resting peacefully on her lap, its head still attached, and the painting in her arms. Her face looked like it had been beaten with a baton of gelatinous goo, yet she had a smile strung ear to ear. Psst, I whispered. 'Tis it safe to enter thy lair? Come in, she said, chuckling. I'm sorry, Urk. Think I ruined your sweater. It was drenched in a decade's worth of pent-up tears and an unholy amount of snot. This is awfully gross, I said, laughing. You can keep this oversized handkerchief. What's gross? This? She asked, smothering the booger sleeves across my face. You heathen! Crawleth backeth, whenceth cameth. I miss Thea, Icarus, and you're leaving to see your brothers in a couple days. What am I going to do with both of you gone? I don't want to be alone. I know, Bird. I'm sorry. But would it cheer you up to open your most bestest Christmas present early? Yeah? She whimpered adorably. It was a rustic lantern I filled with moss and ivy. The glass was glossed inside and had paper cutouts which illuminated silhouettes of her creatures, brought to life when lit. Celine opened it carefully as her eyes glistened in a surreal way, much like the lantern itself. It's beautiful, Icarus, she said. How long have you been making this? Weeks, I said, chuckling. Whenever you were at work. Is this why you asked me to draw my creatures so tiny a while back? Yeah. I'm no artist and they needed to be yours. I tried being secretive about it until having to ask for help with your own gift. You're a strange bird, Irk. You know that? You may not believe to be an artist, but everything you've ever made me sure is beautiful. I love it. When I'm gone, light the lantern and I'll know. Light it and you'll never be alone. Besides, you can call me any time on our clown mirror phone. I'm always on the other end. I will, Icarus, she smiled. I know that this Christmas will be tough without Thea here, but stay strong. You've always got this. I'll bring the two of you back together again, Celine Hawk. I promise. That was beautiful. See, we have a terribly sad chapter. We purge our sorrows, go for a nice, short 15-mile walk, and then we brush it off. And then we come back the next day, count our blessings from the northern Nevada sky. The northern Nevada sky, thank you. We're counting our blessings for your presence here, Mr. and Mrs. Northern Nevada Sky. Anyway, yeah. Thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoyed that. Duality is rather beautiful. But there are hardships ahead. We're almost there. And I can't wait to share the next one with you. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Come on back next time for another remarkably beautiful chapter of The Stars Above.